Good evening. It's another Monday night, and you're with Creators1News, and this is the business segment. I am El Blanco, and we've been doing this. Well, Miss Rock's been doing this about 3 years, and I think I'm been here a couple of about a year and a half. And Creators1 News, we started out as Meta News, and we eventually changed the name as Horizons moving forward, and as Meta's trying to get towards its goals. We're not gonna, share the same name that has a copyright because we're going to be copyrighted and we're going to have a lot of content and we're going to be ready to go when the corporations come. So we're looking forward to Horizon World meeting all of its goals as it's making all its different transitions. As you can see, Horizon World is giving a select group of people, they've given them right to help Horizon World meet its goals. And so we're right behind them. When they reach their goals, we want to reach our goals. And we're looking for at least 1 million plus to become members. And I think they're really going to accomplish that by making these worlds mobile. People are going to the mobile app. They're not having to invest in these. And that's what's going to influence them to, really come on in. And that's especially when they find out that people have made the transition. They have come in here, went from having super fun, meeting good
Mhm.
people. They've made the transition to say, hey, I can make money this way or I can make money that way. And so my goal is to make sure that as the anchor for the business news segment, I'm gonna keep keeping the members up on what's really going on, some detailed knowledge, and I speak with a lot of different people on the outside, and plus there's some dope people on the inside. And we have one with us tonight. But before we
Thank
get
you.
started, I'm gonna introduce you guys to Maddie in one moment. But I want you to know that whenever you're free and you're at home, you're working, and you have time to go online and see some of our segments, we have a lot of other segments. We have a lot of content. We've been consistent. You can go to creators1news.com online, right? And the way that's spelled is spelled with Creators One. That's CreatorsOneNews. Creators1news.com. That's the website. Now, if you ever want to, get on the show, we do have a segment we normally call the Business Buzz, and usually we would have Maddie on tonight, and we realized that we need to let her introduce herself tonight on this particular show. But if you ever want to get on the show, and if you ever want to do some work with Creators1News, you must contact Miss Rocks, the founder of it. She's the world creator of all our worlds, and she's the founder. And you can catch her on the Instagram, and you can get at her at Creators1News, and that's with a number one instead of ONE. So that's CREATORS, the number one NEWS, and you can reach her on the Instagram. So, with no further ado, before we proceed tonight, we're gonna let Miss Maddy-Vr introduce herself so you can find out some real strong people in here that's gonna help you.
Everybody. Hi. Thank you so much, El Blanco. Hi, everybody. My name is Maddy.Vr. If you don't know me, now you know. Um, I was so excited to get an invite from El Blanco today. Thank you, Miss Rocks. Thank you, Creators One's News. Thank you, El Blanco, for this.
You're welcome. Well, go ahead and just let them know what you're doing and where you're from and how you came across us and what you plan
Yeah.
to do.
For sure. So El Blanco was talking about just evolving, and my whole um, visit to the metaverse really evolving. I started off in multiverse and finiverse, and I wanted to seek out more. So then I went into alt space and I met wonderful people like Miss Sexy with Club Miss Sexy and a lot of other avatars, and then evolved and grew into Horizon Worlds. And I started off hanging out, playing, having fun, and realized the magnitude of being in VR, that you can bring your businesses in here and that you can share with people and grow together and have build wealth together. So the possibilities are absolutely endless. In IRL, by the way, my name is Madie, and I go by Maddie, and I go by Maddie.Vr here. And in IRL, I'm a business specialist. I've been a business advisor for 23 going on 24 years. Yes, I am experienced and seasoned. I come in with pink hair having fun, but in IRL, I have to be serious and get down to business. What I do is I work for a corporate 500 company. I'm the regional vice president. I travel around the USA and sometimes Canada and help people keep more money in their bottom line. I talk to people in gas, oil, lumber, metal, a lot of construction, anybody who's doing over $1 million in gross revenue up to $500 million are my clients. So I have a lot of experience there. Coming into the metaverse has been a whole nother thing. We're just now starting to monetize. We're just now starting to figure out. It's a super fun place. You can build with your hands. It's just absolutely incredible. So I'm just now starting to come in and really realize where my niche journey trying to figure it out.
Well, that's kind of interesting, Maddie, that you said that because I too started out in Infiniverse, and
Oh, nice.
I did. I have
Ye
6 properties over
Oh
there.
my gosh, so do I. Have a lot of properties. It's
You probably
fun. I
you
have a
probably got
lake.
way more than I do because you're in real life what you're doing. See, people in real
Got no
life
idea what's going
understand,
on.
right? They understand in real life how you can number one expand your market base, right?
Mhm.
Instead of you being local or having to travel across the United States,
That's
by
right.
coming in here, you can build your numbers up. Now, that's one thing I've been complaining about the numbers. I have a lot of numbers in here, but by the way the platform is set up and how all the changes are being made, I cannot even access them all, which is going to put me in a position to have to do a Discord, right, to be able to meet to get all my followers and get to them
Right.
in real time. Now, she's actually started out in the Finiverse, and that's what happened with me. I came on to do business. I said, okay, let me get into this digital real estate because everything in here, y'all, these are assets. Even this world is an asset. Even if you built an avatar like yourself, it'll be an asset. These assets are digital assets, and once you make one digital asset, you can modify it a million times. It's still that's it. It's that's still that asset, and you can turn that into anything. Now, she said a niche, right? Some people say niche, some people say niche, right? When you find a niche, you now have something to work with, something a platform to start with. So whatever it is you're doing on the outside, yes, you can now link that in, but you have to understand, you know, understand the difference between what's coming and what's here.
That's a
What's here?
really good point. That is a really good point. I'd like to add on to that. Let me tell you, me personally, I'll share with you the downside of things as an advisor. It's like being a doctor. You can help everybody else, but are you helping yourself do that exact same thing? As an advisor, I've given so much advice to other people. I've helped other people achieve their goals. And when I started to introspect, I realize that I have not taken what I am most passionate about and moved that forward. I'm always helping everybody else. And
Mute your
so,
microphone.
it's so important too
Can
to
you mute your microphone, please?
sometimes you don't know exactly what it is that's going to work for you. It's so important to connect with other people who might have insight on what it is that you could do efficiently and well and help you get. So even when it comes to things like that, adaptability is really huge when it comes to being in the metaverse.
Yes.
We actually are learning how to build culture and adaptability by doing it every single day.
I had a lot of learning curves when I first got here as well. Right,
Yeah.
personality conflicts.
Yes.
The fact that we. Hold on a second.
Depends on the characteristics that you got.
Hey,
My son got one too.
Can
hey, CJ, take it downstairs. Take it downstairs and put her in mute, and then come back upstairs. Take her to the door. To the door, dragon, and then you just come upstairs. She doesn't have to leave the world. Just go downstairs while you help her, and then that way she won't have to delay
Good
the
job,
recording.
guys.
Right. You can go right here.
Okay.
Patience
Okay. All right. So,
because yeah, yeah, the possibilities are endless and, evolving socially and,
so
it's important.
so tell me, it's from your perspective because I give my perspective every week.
Mhm.
How would you basically influence, not influence, but direct someone, right, coming from IRL in real
Mhm.
life,
Mhm.
coming from IRL, coming to a digital or virtual. This is a digital, it's virtual world. How about you give them like let's say if you was give them not just such an elevator pitch, but just a clear synopsis on how put themselves in a position to be in position, put
Mhm.
themselves in a position to get into a position where this can become a very lucrative thing for them.
Someone outside. I'm actually working on that right now, and that's a big deal. The importance of making sure that you have a structured pitch, where it's tailored to that business is so important. Everybody wants to know WIFM, what's in it for me, right? So whenever I'm pitching someone, I always think, okay, what's in it for them? But also, how can this be mutually beneficial? So as long as you put together a pitch that has those elements, then that would work. I am so I would say calculative when it comes to those types of things that I wouldn't even try to drive. Would want to make sure that I do it right because the importance I've learned from the past, right? You can't just say absolutely anything, hoping that it works. Do things right. Take your time, do the research, do things right, and make sure that you pitch accordingly.
Okay, so here's my little dilemma, right? As a person
Mhm.
who's going directly at people, I'm going
Yeah.
directly at them all because I know they don't see the they don't see
Value the
the end goals, right?
uh-huh.
They can see opportunity as far as seeing
Right.
other people because a lot of people don't have any background, so they emulate, right? Like if they
Mhm.
build a world like this, "Ooh, I'm gonna kind of like duplicate that. I'm gonna emulate that a bit.
Mhm.
Or if these people are monetized, well, how do they get monetized? See, they're coming in on under that, right? So what I'm telling people is this, right? First and foremost, business is business. So the structure of
Mhm.
business never changed. So the first thing I did was I went 13 weeks using the platform to teach people the different phases or the different phases of a business plan. But
Yes.
I found out real fast that that's not as effective if they don't even understand why these phases are so important, right?
That's
Um,
right.
I had people come in and I realized that they were not better suited for me. They were suited for Jen Smash. We got Jen Smash. She's in here.
Mhm.
She's
Mhm.
teaching people hands on and she's bringing
Agree, yeah.
so they're doing that. So I started telling people, okay, well, if you don't know anything else, then if you don't want to do a business plan right now, if you don't know anything else, I want you to look up feasibility study. I was telling people to write that down, define feasibility study, and do a feasibility study because the feasibility study itself is going to
Mhm.
tell you should you with what you're doing, try to cross that over into here. And then if you think you could and you should, which I say you should because it's the future of everything. You
Yeah.
should, you should now do a feasibility study to see to what extent it's going to cost you in time, any type of investments, any type of connections. And if all those things are in place or you can put those things in place, then you're in the place to be. And then I
Mhm.
tell them, meet people like you said. And that's what happened
That's
to me.
right.
That's happened to me. I
Yeah.
started meeting people. And I said, "Oh wow!" And so everybody started saying, "Okay, you talking to the walls. You need to go talk to Miss Rocks." And so it was
Yeah.
Dollar Beezy made that connection. Dollar Beezy's been here.
Yeah,
He's
you'll
been doing it.
find your tribe on here, whether that be, what you want to get out educational growth, building, you'll find your different tribes on here.
So who are the people that you've met thus far since you've been on here on Horizon Worlds? Because if you started with Infiniverse, I was started with them 3 years ago. But
Uh-huh.
who have you met so far in here that gave you the green light to say that I need
Oh
to
my
be in here?
goodness. Oh my goodness. So I have to always start with Leroy 777 and MetaClean Rupert. They
Okay.
were the first ones that hired myself and my partner to do a project. We were working on events, and they were the first ones to hire us here. And it was an incredible experience to transition from alt space right when it was closing, to this complete different metaverse where we have bodies. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. But yes, they were a big influence. And right now, who is really just, I am just completely in awe of her resilience and what she's doing in the metaverse is the Viva coach. I've been working side by side with her on a few things, and I'm just so impressed with how she coaches people.
your approach then as far as um your actual plan of action, not to give up your, not to give up your proprietary type idea,
Uh-huh.
but your action. Because what I tell people is, form your corporation if you don't have one. You have to
Uh-huh.
start out with an LLC, because the LLC means you're making less than 50,000 starting out, because you don't want to end up having all these different fees that the IRS wants you to set up and the state wants you to set up. I have them start out like that. Then I tell them, once you get from that point, if you start making 50,000 or more, then you're going to need to either form a S corporation. And when I tell them a S corporation, I tell them S corporation because the S corporation can have members. That means you can team up with me, you, and up to
Yeah.
100 people,
Mhm.
and have
Mhm.
one organization, which will create one major fund that everybody's different company can contribute to, and but it's moving as one. So I tell people that, but I tell them to keep their businesses on the outside right now. And the only reason I tell them that, because the way that Horizon moves, it's like any other corporation who have shareholders that they're trying to
Mhm.
make sure they maximize on profit for. And we don't want to, or I don't think they want you to be direct competitors. They want you to still be members,
Absolutely. You're
clients,
100%
customers.
correct. And they still actually own, you talked about having digital assets. They actually still own these assets. So when I'm giving
Uh,
anybody any type.
Let me interrupt.
Mhm.
Let me interrupt. Now, that's
Yeah.
a big pet peeve of mine.
Mhm.
They don't own the assets. These are creators' rights, right? That's a
Mhm. Mhm.
misconception. Ever since
Yeah.
I've been here, that's been a misconception. They only have non-exclusive rights to what you create. They don't own the assets.
Correct.
They
But
own the platform, but they
for
don't own the
sure. But
assets.
what I'm saying is if they pull the plug, your this asset that we're sending right now is zoop, it's gone. So that's what I'm saying, but that's why I tell people this, and it goes hand in hand to what you're saying, because this is why I tell people this right here. Build your business from the ground up. Know exactly what it is that you want to do, your direction, and it's non-traditional. So you might have to build an audience first and see where that goes. I mean, I have been trying to figure it out, and I'm a business dev specialist. I've been trying to figure out for myself what direction that I want to go. Do I want to advise people for business in here, or do I just want to focus on the more entertainment aspect for myself because that's what's fun? Because I have to do all the business stuff outside of here. I mean, I have to meet with 3 to 5 clients every single day around the country, and drive all over the place to meet with clients to make sure that they're, doing well with their taxes, that their sales are going in the right direction, that they're not just showing large gross numbers, but they're actually profitable and they're taking a paycheck. They're not putting themselves last. Like, all that stuff is great, but I think I want to keep that on the outside and focus on more of the entertainment. So, but I do tell people, when you are building a business in here, you know, build your audience first, use social media as a great platform for what it's worth, and get followers, get collaborators, and then start working on, um, you have all the channels and everything, but make sure that you are set up to monetize yourself properly. And then with monetizing yourself properly is going to come taxes. It is, I know, in my state, if you make more than $500, you need to at least be reporting something. So it's just really important to make sure that your books are are set up properly, and that you're keeping track of all those things for future audits, and that you're actually building a real brand, a real business, and not just saying that you're somebody and saying that you have a brand, and getting, small pocket change here and there, and your deliverables are not set and all that good stuff. But no, it's interesting for sure. It's a
Yeah,
whole nother animal. It's not like, and that's what I was saying when we were having a little bit of an interruption, is that we're actually discovering what the culture is and how to operate within it, because it's so different from IRL. And that's my opinion.
yeah, and it's steadily evolving. We're building this, and
Mhm.
so we're getting close to the end. I'm gonna close it out with this. One thing I need to make sure that everybody understand, because this is what I really harp on. A lot of people
Mhm.
came from alt space, and they sat in some of the meetings with me, and when they realized that you don't really lose anything. They shut that whole platform
Mm,
down, but they gave everybody the opportunity to get
that's
all your
true.
assets. Once they
Yeah.
gave you the ability to get all your assets, you have your assets. Any other
Mhm.
platform that's coming, It'll be coming. They're gonna build a blockchain out. They're gonna build all
Mm,
these other worlds because everything, the whole world is moving to VR. They're
mm,
moving this way because it's more efficient to operate as corporations. More people are really gonna be working from home because if you understand what took place with the commercial real estate, it all
yeah,
collapsed because people aren't renting out these incredibly expensive office spaces. People are getting priced out like in California.
that's
A
right.
lot of people are relocating around the country because the whole world is changing, and they're changing because of the advancement and the evolution of the technology.
That's
With
right.
technology now, we can do what we want to do, right? And we don't have to be a full scale studio to compete with designers. We don't have to know Corel. We don't have to know Photoshop. We don't have to know all this stuff that people had to
Mhm.
know. So we have AI now that's going to be building this stuff. That's the future. All the money is going into the different forms of AI. And now you can be a one man team if you know how to structure a company, if
That's
you know how
right.
to structure the company properly. You don't have to worry about how you're going to make a living because when they came to my show, I started
Mm,
telling people, regardless of how long you've been on this earth, you just didn't know about business to properly structure a
mhm.
business. So what
Yeah.
I tell people today in here, if you go read the agreement, it says they have non-exclusive rights because they don't
Mm,
have a choice, but they have non-exclusive rights to your stuff because you are the creator. Those are
yes.
creators' rights. Only way you give these rights up if you enter into a contract where mutual terms are expressed and signed over and signed off, like a work for hire or something like that. Other than
Mhm.
that, you retain all your rights to
That's
everything.
good to
It's
know.
just it's just called digital property interest. So if they
Mhm.
shut this down, I'm sending them a bill. I'm gonna tell them what all my assets I plan to make with my assets over the.
Yeah,
I'm projecting just like they project. They project
that's
over the
right.
next 10 years, they want to make billions of dollars, right? As
Mhm.
corporations. So I plan to make millions. They plan on making billions because I
That's
plan on
right.
being a part of it and I can justify that. So but as far as it goes when it comes to making the transition, yes,
Mm.
this place is evolving, and every time I thought I saw a clear objective, it changed when Horizon World
Yes.
changed, and it Horizon
Right.
World changed when Meta changed, and Meta has to change when the government changed because the government has so much going on in the world. So it's a geopolitical thing that's going on right now for the 21st century that's going to usher in everything. So we're going to be on a blockchain. Real property will be tokenized. Believe it or not, real
Mm,
property will be
that's
tokenized.
good. Good
So
point.
you will be able to do things on a digital capacity, even in the real world, because everything's going digital anyway. So thank you, Maddie, for maybe
Thank you.
Maddie we'll get together again. Maybe I'm gonna have an all-star team because we have people in here that will blow the socks off people who are keeping up with what's going on with business, VR,
Yes.
the whole thing. And before we go, how many properties you got in Infiniverse?
Oh my gosh, I had to downsize. I have about 20 now. Mhm.
You
But the
sold? You
majority of
sold?
them I did. I just wanted to keep the what are those what are the rooftop ones
Oh,
called?
the
The
penthouses. The penthouses. They
penthouses.
got the most. Yeah,
And
the most value.
I've got a few I've got gosh, I've got about 20 properties. Most of them are penthouses and I have a lake.
Oh,
And
so
I
you got
haven't
so
been
you got
there
land
for
mass.
months.
Well, all my property over there has been it went up. I've been over there 3 years, y'all. All my properties went up 4 times the value already.
Oh,
Four
I'm
times the
sure
value.
mine has too.
It's
I
only been
know.
3 years.
That's when we started,
Four
little
times
over
the
3 years
value.
ago. It's crazy.
So I know some people. I just haven't been over in a while, but they have like 2,000,
Oh
three
my
thousand
gosh, you're
properties.
making me wanna go just to go
So
check
they
my
they
properties.
they're gonna get
Make
they're
sure
gonna
you
get
count your
rich.
money. You got to know when to fold them. That's a whole crazy world over there, the Infiniverse. If you haven't been there, check it out.
Okay, so I'd like to thank everybody for coming in tonight. So once again, you can go to creators1.com on our webpage and you can look at all our different shows. And you can always, like I said, get on Instagram, contact Miss Rocks at Creators1 News. And that is spelled with the number one instead of ONE when you go to Instagram to look her up. So make sure you get a chance to check us out. And if you're on the website, you can book us. You can book me. We can have consultations. We can sit down in the other office. We have all kind of facilities here in Horizon Worlds. Our older worlds are just as dope, just like this one, but they're just as dope because she put them together professionally. So when you want to sit down with me, like I said, go through Instagram, contact Miss Rocks. She'll let me know. She'll set up a date, whatever. And most of the time I'm here on Monday nights for sure at 10 p.m. here, and I'm supposed to have a meeting with someone tonight after this segment from another segment. So we're moving like that. So thanks for coming tonight, and It's been one.
Creators One.
All right.